Hi everyone, this is Nikki Yu, and you are watching the Philippine Stock Market Update from Awesome10X. It's June 24, 2021. Some Philippine news. First news, of course, is rest in peace for our dear President Ninoy Aquino. So he passes away today. Junio 24 is no longer the same. Junio 24, 2021. Now, you can see in all, Manila mourns the passing of ex-President Noynoy Aquino. Flags are at half-mast. All flags mourning the death of former President Noynoy Aquino, Mayor Isko Moreno said yes Thursday. Moreno mourned Aquino's death, saying the late former president inspired us with his unexpected humility. Aquino, also known as PNoy, championed good governance reforms, promoted efficiency, reduced opportunities for corruption. The Philippines was cited as the fastest growing economy in Asia, best with the cards that life had dealt him. He inspired us with his unexpected humility. May his legacy to lead others. 2016. So you can see more people sharing their sentiments in RIP PNoy, trending in the Philippines with 24,000 tweets. People are pouring in their condolences for government president, for our president, Noynoy Aquino. So you can just read on and see what the 15th president of the Philippines accomplished in his life and his dreams for the Filipino public. Okay, so in today's topic, we are going to discuss a deep dive, and we're going to discuss Megaworld, MREIT. Megaworld and MREIT, is it the largest office space in Southeast Asia? It's June 24, 2021. Let's begin. So why don't we start with a 9-minute video with ANC making this interview with Mr. Kevin Tan, the Chief Strategy Officer of Megaworld.
For our first guest this morning, we have Megaworld's Kevin Tan, Chief Strategy Officer. He actually saw a boom in
Iloilo long before others did. And now, Megaworld is reaping the benefits. Kevin, finally, we have you on the show. Thank you so much. So, Kevin, your research, what does it tell you about the direction of the property market? I know that leasing, for example, is now 30% of your business. What does it tell you about what does it tell you about sales?
Well, I think our outlook is generally we've seen the prices actually hold their ground, which is a good thing because are
Sorry. So there are problems with my video. Either way, I listened to it a while ago. Mr. Kevin Tan is actually sharing that the Philippine economy is strong and their portfolio and their properties are actually able to handle and weather this pandemic quite fairly strongly, with a strong leasing portfolio still in demand. In fact, they actually earned about 10 billion pesos last year. Why don't we go to the you can just watch this from ANC. It's a 9-minute video, and we'll try to see whether we can listen to some of the parts and later on.
For our
Let's go to the REIT. So the largest landlord in the Philippines is gearing up for the country's biggest REIT IPO. Megaworld is going to be the biggest office REIT in Asia, and that is their aim. They're going to have 10 properties leased by BPOs that will be in this REIT. Okay, who is Megaworld? That's the largest office developer in Philippines. Let's watch. 2 minutes. Hope this works. Hope the
Imagine a world where with one touch, you're transported to paradise, where everything is integrated and you can now spend more time on what's important. Imagine townships that make everything closer, closer to where you need to be and where you want to be. Imagine a world where with a touch of your fingertips, you're able to work and innovate with the best and the brightest. Or what if the company you have is the best at throwing parties? With smooth interconnectivity, it feels as if they're just around the corner. Anything intertwined closely, everything interconnected. Luckily, we no longer need to imagine because our townships are already here. Building sustainable townships and integrated lifestyle communities from Metro Manila, the key cities, and to the countryside. Here in Megaworld, the perfect home is just one touch away.
I had to fix my net. Either way, you can watch the video yourself. Megaworld has achieved quite a significant milestone, lots of milestones for the last few decades in the Philippine map. And you can see that for 2 decades, Megaworld actually is the lifestyle trend leader when it comes to office towers, malls, the live, work, play concept, townships. They've been copied over and over again, and yet Megaworld seems to be a company that is in a distressed value situation in the Philippine market, which shouldn't be. Let's understand more about their annual report. So let's take a look. In their annual report 2020, you could see at a glance what Megaworld had achieved over its lifespan. So Megaworld was founded in 1989 by Mr. Andrew Tan, so we like that because it's founder-led, incorporated under Philippine law as engaging in development, leasing, marketing of real estate. Initially, they just established themselves as building high-end residential condos and commercial properties in urban locations with easy accesses to offices as well as leisure and entertainment amenities in Metro Manila. Beginning in 1996, they responded to lifestyle convenience, having residents in close proximity to office and leisure facilities, the live, work, play concept. They began to focus on development mixed-use communities, primarily for the middle-income market, and starting the development of its Eastwood Community Township. In addition, the company engaged in other property-related activities such as product design, construction oversight, property management. And in 1999, Megaworld finally changed itself to a pure real estate company, from real estate to a holding company, where it's actually focusing on its core competence in real estate development. Their mission: we pioneer concepts promoting integrated lifestyle in townships we build. We advocate stewardships of the environment, deliver long-term value for our shareholders and employees, and spur economic growth all over the country. Indeed, their core businesses, you could see real estate. They've got Megaworld, Jerry, Empire East SunTrust, Their offices, Megaworld Premier offices, their malls, Megaworld Lifestyle Malls, their hotels, Richmond Hotel, Twin Lakes Hotel, Savoy Hotel, Belmont Hotel, Kingsford Hotel, Fairways and Blue Water, and Hotel Lucky Chinatown. So yes, at a glance, let's see what they've done. In a single year, their revenues is about 43 billion pesos. That's close to $1 billion. Real estate sales is 24 billion pesos, which is close to 500 million, $500 million. Their rental income is 12 billion pesos, 13 billion pesos. That's roughly about, let's just do it in dollars because most people actually think in dollars. It's about close to $300 million. Hotel operations, not bad, 1.5 billion pesos. Yeah, so 1.5 billion pesos, about $30 million. EBITDA, 20 billion pesos, not bad. You're hitting close to about $400 million. And net income is 10 billion pesos. Company reminiscent of the top developers in the country, which is SM Malls. SM Malls also makes about 15 billion pesos a year. Development portfolio, you could see that it's all over in terms of hectares. McKinley is 50 hectares. McKinley West is 35 hectares. Uptown is 15 hectares. Forbes-Town, West Side City, Southwood City, Echo Town Plaza, Arden, Maple Grove, Hamptons, Twin Lakes, St. Barbara Heights, Iloilo Business Park, Capital Town, Pampanga, Newport, Eastwood, Orcovia, Lucky Chinatown Mall, Eastland Heights, Highfield City, Boracay New Coast, Alabang West, Nimactown, Newtown, Upper East, North Hill Gateway, Davao. You could see that they're all over the Philippine map. This is a company that is well run all over the Philippines and it has been designing towards a better future for all Filipinos. Twin Lakes Hotel and Residences, let's understand what the chairman, Andrew Tan, is saying, the founder. So Megaworld shown resilience and stability as an organization amidst the most serious global crisis in the century. They saw development opportunities in 2020. They launched 7.8 billion worth of residential projects outside Manila to capture the strong demand for projects in the provinces. We supported the expansion activities of our office partners outside Metro Manila as the attractiveness of the hub and spoke model for offices came to the fore. Meanwhile, our in-city hotels continue to operate even during the height of the pandemic as we provided quarantine and work from hotel services. So Megaworld's vision of a digital future was established in its newest subsidiary, Agile Digital Ventures, for scope and scale of their digital strategy, spearheading investments in digital innovation and technology, as well as supporting food and beverage, retail, and hospitality industries. Despite the challenging year, there's a lot of uplifting wins for Megaworld. We received a total of 76 awards from several award-giving bodies for our campaigns, developments, cultural promotion, COVID-19 response programs, as one of the dream companies to work for in the real estate sector. Notwithstanding the pandemic, we continue to actualize our sustainability commitments in the Zero Waste Lifestyle movement launched this January 2021. We look forward to a better 2021. Our growth pipelines are prepared to take them on. Demand for warehouses, logistic hubs would also increase. We believe our townships can cater to this need given their strategic location. We continue to support all of our customers, offices, retail partners, strong partnerships, complements. Okay, let's understand some highlights. These are their awards and recognition. So these are Megaworld. They are recognized as Mega Malasakit, COVID-19, Gold Winner, Megaworld Foundation Scholarship Program, Summer Ventures, Roam from Home, a lot of honorable mentions all throughout the world. Luxury Lifestyle Awards for the Best Luxury Hotel for Savoy Hotel Manila. Uptown Bonifacio is awarded as a winner for the Best Mixed-Use Development in the Philippines. Traveler's Choice, all of their hotels. Savoy Belmont Hotel, Richmond Hotel Iloilo, Cafe Belmont at Belmont Hotel Manila for the restaurant category, the Granary at Richmond Hotel Iloilo. You're seeing top taxpayers for Parañaque City is Megaworld in terms of real estate property taxes, Ragan Awards, International Financial Awards. It's got 76 awards in a single year. It just tells you that all of the people in the Philippines acknowledge the greatness of Megaworld as a real estate company. Now, in terms of business review, let's understand a few things. Throughout the years, Megaworld prioritized a strong balance sheet. In its third quarter of 2020, they've issued bonds of $350 million to shore up and build up its liquidity. And by the end of 2020, they're registering a low net debt to equity of just 22%. In their capex, they're spending 27.9 billion pesos, a 40% decrease from their planned 48 billion pesos in 2019. Reflecting this current demand trend for property offerings outside the metro, they're launching 7.8 billion pesos in 2020, namely Bryant Park Lane North Wing in Capital Town San Fernando, Pampanga, Arcadia Tower 2 in Highland City, Cainta Rizal, One Manhattan in Upper East Bacolod, The Pinnacle North Wing in Iloilo Business Park, Iloilo City, Lakefront Esplanade in Hamptons, Caliraya, Laguna. And these last three projects are all launched in the third quarter of 2020, registering sales of 56%, 47%, and 100% respectively by the end of the year. Additionally, Megaworld's upscale residential village, the Arden Botanical Estate in Trece Martires, Cavite, performed very well, contributing 3 billion pesos in reservation sales just 7 months after their launch and has been sold out since the second quarter of 2020. Other big-ticket horizontal projects in various provincial tourism estates contributed: New Coast Village in Boracay, New Coast, Eastland Highlights in Antipolo, Rizal. Reservation sales amounted to 68 billion pesos, 50% of which was accounted by provincial real estate developments, telling you that Megaworld as a real estate company is dynamic. They're always able to capture where the growth is, and it's not in Manila, it's outside Manila. So whether that be in Cavite, in Pampanga, in Bacolod, in Rizal, they're definitely doing well. In terms of office rentals, it became a very stable part. Note that the Philippines had a huge run in the BPO sector, making up 73% of the company's office partners, which is why a lot of people usually think that when it comes to BPO, mega world. So whenever they think about decline in BPO services, they're actually thinking, oh, there could be a potential problem in Megaworld. But you could see that the facts say that Megaworld's rentals are 10 billion pesos for the year. So that's a huge resilience for a company like them. Megaworld took steps developing products and services within their digital initiatives, minimizing the impact of lower revenues. That's the reason why their EBITDA, although it declined from 18.7 billion pesos by 37%, it's still actually very much stable. And their profit is still 10.6 billion pesos. Not so bad considering already the pandemic. So real estate revenues reflected the decline due to construction delays. However, they're able to see, as if you were listening to Kevin Tan in the interview, he did say that they're optimistic for single-digit growth for this 2021 and a potential recovery since we are actually heading very well into our vaccination program. So let's take a look at the premier offices as well. In the province, there's still about 237,000 square meters. And that was last year. As of 2020, they expanded their province to 254. So far in their office portfolio, it's still very much in the vicinity of Manila with 1,144. So from a pie, it tells you that 80% is still in Manila, 20% is in the provinces. Now, showcasing the growth, however, is that they're seeing that the current inventory spaces tell you just from that lease officing, they are the largest in the Philippines. So they're the largest office landlord, and they want to be the largest in Southeast Asia when it comes to REITs, with about 1.4 million square meters of office leasing. With the REIT that they're starting, 10, and it's probably going to be 20, 40, 50 in the future office towers. It tells you that Megaworld's REIT is not positioned simply as a stable play, but a growth story. Because knowing how Megaworld is, it's not just going to be the REITs that you're getting the dividends from, but the expansion of those offices as they continue to shore up and capex and use the REIT proceeds to keep on growing. So it's going to be a growth play in a sense. Okay, so the company is well positioned to take the advantage of the demand of the efforts to build because it has extensive office partners and an attractive portfolio of office assets. Indeed, all of the blue chip clients in the Philippines are all under Megaworld's command. Okay, so Megaworld Hotels doing well, but this is still a small part of the hotels. Their retail portfolio, not so bad, 462,000. So this is their mall part. So this is really huge in offices. So they got pretty badly hit in the work from home environment. But the fact that they were able to actually see a significant decline, 40% decline in their net income isn't so bad, all things considered. You can see that they are diversified. They've got premier offices, premier malls, land banking is huge, project launches in the billions, reservation sales also selling well. So it is fine to be optimistic in Megaworld as a reopening, recovery, and quite a huge resilience. I'd say it's a distressed asset in the Philippines. It's a distressed asset. So you can actually make money here if you're looking to just relax and have a small, stable growth play in Megaworld. So let's understand more. Okay, stronger townships, stronger communities. Take note, they've got the largest McDonald's opened in San Fernando, Pampanga. They opened it last year. December 7, 2020, McDonald's opened its largest store located within 35 hectares, capital town, Pampanga. This is the two-level next-gen store covering more than 1,000 square meters of floor area with a 360 seating capacity. This is the largest in the Philippines to date, sitting on a 2,200 square meter lot inside the township with a parking area, a McDo park, an Instagrammable green wall. The branch has a no-touch drive-through facility, al fresco dining area, self-ordering kiosk, a meeting room, a dedicated party area. Guys, if you love having your birthday parties, McDonald's, BTS, la la la, I guess the Pampanga people are so happy. I've never been to Pampanga. I've never been to Pampanga. I've read a lot of stories. It's funny, I'm in the Philippines, but I've never been to Pampanga. I've heard about great stories in Pampanga, great food, sisig. I've been to Iloilo though, once. I think once or twice. Yeah, I attended a wedding before in Iloilo. Iloilo is a progressive city in the Philippines. So you're seeing that Megaworld is all about urbanization, seeing the provinces would become big growth opportunity centers in Manila. That's something that even the Duterte administration believes, that we should grow outside Metro Manila. And that's what Megaworld as a developer is doing. So residential projects played a key role, ensuring that people remain indoors. So their live, work, play concept continued to be a strong reason. Residents chose the Lucky Chinatown project because it's near the mall, the St. Moritz McKinley West because it's near BGC. So you could see that luxury residential projects showcase how Megaworld can suit all trends, whether it be the mass market, the middle market, and the luxury. They're continuing to expand and lay claim to homes and the community experiences that they serve. So very strong movements. It's very proactive. So Megaworld as a developer is kind of good. They're saying that they want to continue to provide solutions to office spaces supporting the emerging business trends. So whether that be digitalization, they've been working and exploring industries such as telecom, healthcare, BPOs, e-commerce, data centers. They want to offer these growth sectors, office spaces in Metro Manila, Iloilo, Pampanga, so that they can cater, because it is the most stable income generator in their company's revenue stream, with or without COVID crisis. So Megaworld continues to see strong growth in their offices, partners, and strong tenant. So the tenants really stayed with them. Very good move for McKinley and all of their malls, businesses, offices. Now, how about the retail? We all know how hard hit the retail malls. So they had to do double, triple disinfection areas set up in strategic locations. They did a lot of financial help to their own tenants by giving them discounts. So you could see that that's one of the reasons why their income fell for the year. So it's not going to be forever. So that's a temporary thing. You could see local lifestyle delivery app, Pekaru, provides home essentials and dine at home experience. This is their digital front. So you're seeing that Pekaru is a strong partner right now for online shopping. Our family does some shopping here. It's done by digital investment arm by AGI, the Agile Digital Ventures. They launched it, Pikaroo, in August 2020. This is an app allowing people to get their daily necessities and more in one go to help all of their shopping hubs. So it becomes like the mall is a shopping hub, tells you that how AGI is very much, AGI, the conglomerate owning Megaworld, is very much optimistic and knows how to be improving their businesses. The app has 900 signed partners, and all of these are Megaworld's retail partners, which means that the retail partners will also be happy to work with Megaworld. In fact, I'd say Pikaroo over time could grow as a business, which is going to be a growth story for AGI Megaworld at the same time. So for those who aren't aware who Pikaroo is actually invested upon by Andrew Tan, Megaworld, Andrew Tan, Kevin Tan. Very good job for AGI actually. So also I think that they hired all the Honest Bees employees. So at least most of the Honest Bee, the one who handled groceries and deliveries for the Philippines. So I'd say that Megaworld is capturing all of the bounties in all of the, it's just doing well. They were able to do our $350 million bond offering for their capex. And now this REIT, which is 27 billion pesos, that's roughly about $500 million. It will help support Megaworld's trajectory for the future. So I'd say this is a good REIT, guys. So okay, so let's understand and compare. You can actually read more in their own annual reports. You could see more. But let me share to you a few things. Let's stop this. So the REIT is being priced at 22 pesos per share. It's going to be 27 billion pesos. There will be secondary shares of up to 1.239 billion common shares. So this will help boost Megaworld. Actually, I'd say all of them are undervalued. The Megaworld company, the MREIT has good stability and growth. And they're actually disclosing that there are 21 major projects in the pipeline across its 11 townships, wherein they're going to use the proceeds from the REIT offering. So it's going to be a good way for Megaworld to finance their deals and grow. So whether you're bullish on Megaworld or the REITs or the AGI who owns Megaworld, I think everything is right. But me personally, I just simply bought the common stock. So, but I'm okay with all. The sponsorship of the REIT is in accordance with Republic Act number 9856, also known as Real Estate Investment Trust Act of 2009. And in a REIT, they're supposed to pay 90%, at least 90% of their income for those office spaces. Take note, if those office spaces don't make a lot, like if it's 50% down income, you have less dividends. But if that temporary problem fixes itself in the next 2 to 3 years, then you can see those REITs pay higher dividends, and therefore those REITs will go up in time. So they had their annual stakeholders meeting. I'm going to read to you a few things. You're seeing a recovery because of the health crisis getting recovered as well. And their office segment was even able to sign up 135,000 square meters in new lease agreements, meaning those are renewals are also 140,000 square meters. Good job. We're ramping up our sustainability. We target to surpass our office segment with over 300,000 square meter of transactions. We're planning to use 20% of a 5 billion peso budget for a Megaworld share buyback program, which tells you that the management itself knows that 3 pesos Megaworld is actually very cheap. So capital raised from this listing is going to fund 21 projects, aiming to have the largest office REIT in the Philippines, one of the largest in Southeast Asia. So this is the founder, Andrew Tan, one of the successful stories in the Philippines. You can watch it all yourself. So let me just give you some of my insights when it comes to REITs. When it comes to REITs, of course, the Philippines is just starting to appreciate it. But this is something known already in Hong Kong and Singapore. So I'm going to tell you a few things about well-managed REITs. So REITs have been a good parking place. Like you'll double your money if you're invested in that for about 7-8 years. Why 7 years? Because REITs are expected to so far make about I'm gonna teach you how to do I'm gonna teach you how to handle calculate the future value of your investments, future value calculator. So let's assume that you are investing in a REIT. Let's say I'm gonna invest about 50,000 pesos in this REIT, and let's say this REIT gives me about 7% a year. So nothing big because the stock would probably be steady. I'll probably get 2 to 3% in the stock appreciation, and then about 4 to 5% in the dividend. So let's say I'll invest that for the next 7 years. So 7 years, period of 7 years. Let me see, 7 years, compound frequency. My 50,000 is gonna be 80,000. So let's assume that it's not 7%. I'm able to get 10% a year. So in 7 years' time, I technically doubled my 50,000 pesos to 97,000 pesos. This will encourage people to just save their money. Like every time they have extra income of 50,000 pesos, they'll put it in Megaworld REITs, and then they'll just get the dividends, and that's it. They could have done this as well with companies that would offer the other 5 to 10% yields. But I think, is this possible? I don't think that you'll get 10% on Megaworld from the coupons. What I think is that it has to expand just like other REITs in the world did. Let me show to you. If you've been investing in a link REIT, this is actually in Hong Kong, for instance. This is a parking space in Hong Kong, offices as well, retail. So you're seeing that you'll invest somewhere in the 30, 40, 50, 60, 80. Eventually, it went to 100 because this company, Link REIT, if you've ever been to the malls of Hong Kong, those malls are all owned by Link. So that's in Hong Kong, 823HK. So a lot of Singaporeans in Hong Kong, all of the people in Southeast Asia have parked their money in REITs in versus bonds because they believe that it's resilient. They believe that real estate is resilient. Of course, in 2020, you'll notice that 100 went to about 60, 40, 60, 50 pesos, $50. So that tells you that that's the cycle. Like some properties would have very little rent in a COVID pandemic, but they're also recovering. So you can see that from 60, it recovered to 78 or 30%. But in the long term, of course, this is generally about from 30 to 80. It shows you that those are the kinds of investments that Megaworld REIT is looking for. And that's how I interpret this Megaworld REIT. Why did I say 823? Because 823 is also close to office. I'm going to give you another example of an office REIT. It's called Keppel. So Keppel is invested in REITs in Singapore. So this is listed in Singapore as K7IU. You'll see that REITs can sometimes also be just nowhere. So from 2013 to 2021, this REIT went from $1, one Singapore, also to 120. So this REIT, the difference is that while the stock didn't appreciate, Keppel REIT dividends actually managed to give a dividend history of about 4%. So meaning, all right, so what happened there is you got 4% times 10 years, 40% growth. So your 50,000 times 40% through the dividends. So you got that, which is about 40% is about 20,000. So 50, so it went to 60,000 and then you got the 20,000. So not bad. So if you compare, there are some REITs that are stable and then there are some REITs that are not just stable, but also growing. So, it will depend on how effective the company manages to keep on expanding their REIT. And I think the MREIT is not necessarily catered to the Filipinos, although that is the plan. REITs definitely get a lot of foreigners because you've got foreigners able to invest in Philippine real estate through the REITs. So foreigners can buy REITs. For example, a Filipino can buy a Hong Kong REIT, a Filipino can buy a Singapore REIT. So I hope that that clarifies all questions. And then, of course, you can just go straight to Megaworld to understand their REITs, their designs, and what they're doing, and so forth. So you can actually watch the chairman's message. Actually, maybe right now, my net might be better. Let me help you watch the Andrew Tan. Let's listen to Kevin Tan and Andrew Tan. So this is a family duo that will manage the REITs. Let's watch.
For our first guest this morning, we have Megaworld.
Let's go for the property outlooks. Here.
Wow.
And the demand continues to grow there, and prices also continue to appreciate in those areas. For the office segment, last year we did a total of 270,000 square meters of lease transactions, half of that were new transactions, including expansions, and half of that were renewals. This year, we're looking to surpass that. We're looking to do at least 300,000 square meters of lease transactions. So our general sentiment is very optimistic, and we're actually quite excited about all the new investments that's happening actually outside Metro Manila.
Kevin, I want to talk about Iloilo. Now the brightest spot in your office leasing portfolio. You're seeing that boom. Did it come as a surprise? I know that Megaworld started investing there as early as 2013. What did you see?
Well, what impressed us about Iloilo was, in fact, the way the city was developed, the infrastructure that was put into that city. They have very good, nice airports, very, very nice roads, sufficient and stable power supply. I mean, those are the things that really attract a lot of our investors. Another thing that strike us was the number of graduates that was produced by the local universities in Iloilo. Iloilo produces anywhere from 25 to 30,000 graduates every year, and that is a source for talent for the growing BPO sector. That's why we are, we are doing very well in Iloilo. We have currently 100,000 square meters of office space there, comprising of 70% of the total office market there. All of that is 100% leased out. And currently we're building another 40,000 square meters, which we will be delivering in phases starting next year.
So I guess, Kevin, as Chief Strategy Officer, where is the next boom likely going to be? What's the next Iloilo that you see, perhaps in Visayas or in Mindanao?
Well, right now, as I mentioned, we discussed four areas. We're seeing a lot of demand coming from Pampanga. We're also seeing a lot of demand coming from Cavite as well, and Bacolod. So these are basically the four areas where we will be really focusing our attention on, maybe this year and next year. So we're very, very bullish actually with these areas.
And have you factored in the macroeconomic outlook? For example, we're getting first quarter GDP numbers in less than an hour. How are people in the C-suite viewing where the economy is right now and the kind of recovery you expect?
I think a lot will really depend overall on how quickly we can vaccinate our population, most especially Metro Manila. I think it's very critical that we achieve a herd immunity here in Metro Manila, because Metro Manila or the NCR region still is the center of our economy. So a lot is dependent on that. I think that when
I'll stop you right there. But definitely, the growth areas of the Philippines is how you can buy Megaworld. You've got access, exposure to the growth in Iloilo, Bacolod, Pampanga, Cavite, growth areas. So you've got a real estate developer play selling at, so just so you understand a few facts. How much is Megaworld market cap right now is? So you can easily see it, just do your Google search. Tells you that the market cap is 100 billion pesos. They earn about 10 billion pesos even in a company decline, and yet they are growing and they have good balance sheet. So is it undervalued? Definitely. Is it like a long time for me to make money? I'd say give it about 6 months to 1 year, you will. So a few things to understand. Let's go to Megaworld's chart. So for those who are new here, let me tell you that you can open an account with WealthSec Premier. It's premier.wealthsec.net. You can open like for at least I think 25,000 pesos or 100,000 pesos, and then so you can invest. You can just do it. Save your money 1 year, 5 years. Just do cost averaging. Let's see Megaworld. All right, so this is your Megaworld. You start to buy today, 316. Let's say you buy 10,000 shares or 15,000 shares, 50,000 pesos worth. You buy 316. That's actually the same price as its price in the last 5 years. And you can argue that, is it going to go back to about 5 pesos pre-pandemic time, about 580? since the company, is actually growing and the sales and the balance sheet is well managed, the answer would be a yes. So let's take a look at the comments, if any. All right. What do you think about FNI and Metro Bank? Okay. FNI, I'm not quite sure. Actually, right now, the commodities might get a little bit of a drop, but there will still be demand. I just think that worldwide, there is demand for nickel. It's just that people usually buy it from Nickel Asia. I don't know if there are electric vehicles or large companies ordering from FNI. I can't actually answer something that I don't know much about. So, but that's something that you have to take a look at. You can also watch our topic, Nickel Asia More Than Mining. You can see it in Awesome10X. Okay, so Metro Bank, it's gonna be I know nothing much except the fact that yes, they continue to be the third largest in the Philippines bank. So definitely it's in the top three. Your number one is BDO, number two is BPI, number three is Metro Bank. Top banks in the Philippines, just stable. I think like you just get dividends. Earnings are dependent on how much the consumers are lending and borrowing. So it's really a percentage of economy is really having hurt because their business got hurt. So I'm not quite sure how many, net profit, not maybe the net profit has declined for Metro Bank. Just like all banks, I'm not quite sure. Hi, Nikki, your thoughts on Manila Water, BHI, please. I think there was the news on Manila Water that Razon is officially the CEO. I mean, like the largest majority of Manila Water. People liked it. The stock price went up. Manila Water's efforts to grow in Vietnam is something that you have to read about. I think like it's better to ask me questions based on the topic rather than, questions that aren't in the topic. So BHI seems to be speculative. I think there are news or rumors that I think Boracay, their Friday's Boracay is probably up for sale. I'm not sure. You can read up about it. Can you help review Megawide, Robinson's Retail if there's time? I'll think about it in the next coming deep dives. Every week, I'll do a deep dive for you. I think the PAL restructuring is good. It tells you that I'm bullish on the reopening. Of course, the vaccines are there. I don't know how much the convertibles of PAL will be, so we'll see what would happen. Petron, I'm bullish because I do believe that the Philippines in the next 15 years is still not going to be electric. So that means that there will be demand on all these fuel we need for the economy of the Philippines to run. So we do need Petron. So at 3 pesos 30 cents looks compelling from a distressed valuation. Can I ask about SSI? Is it still good to buy? I think that SSI is still good to buy at 122. In the short term, of course, I would never know if the market will really appreciate what we find. But I do think that SSI, if you look at the numbers from the assets itself, it looks like they've done well in pivoting. So in the Philippines, you can clearly see there's a lot of undervalued names. Megaworld is one of them, like what we discussed a few 40 minutes ago. And day by day, we'll see whether the market will also see how we see things. Which is better? Is it Ayala REIT or MREIT? Well, from the way that they discussed, if I'm just gonna view based from what the founders are sharing, the Megaworld REIT sounds appealing to me. I think it's gonna be a 5% dividend, and it's gonna grow over the next 10 years. Maybe like your 50,000 pesos today can grow perhaps to 80,000 in 7 years. Not substantially huge, maybe 80,000 or 100,000. But for the person who's just investing and saving his money, it's a suitable alternative. So I think it's one of the diversification that some Filipinos can do. What is the best recovery play for the Philippines? We talked about recovery. Of course, your travel will be a recovery play. So far, the market agreed. That's why Cebu Pacific went up. Maybe PAL restructuring is a good thing because, airlines as a sector, if it's undervalued so much, like if it's like bankrupt valuation versus replacement, I think that, you can make some money on it. I don't think too much about the best. I think about, well, what's undervalued, how much is my downside if I do buy. Sample, the fact that Megaworld, you've got a buyback program, tells you at the very least, if you buy it at 3 pesos, well, or 3.16 today, if it goes down, at least you have the management and the owners backing you up, and the company is growing with you and investing their hard-earned money as well with you. Your thoughts about GMA7? It was a monopoly, but I'm not quite sure about the next incoming elections. Of course, I think I don't like to speculate about what's gonna happen in the future. It went up because the franchise of ABS was not renewed. We'll see what happens in the next coming years. So I don't want to talk much about something that's event driven. So yeah, it's event driven. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. See you again tomorrow. Next week. I'll do it every Wednesday. Sorry, last night I wasn't able, so I had to do it this Thursday. And hope that you guys have a good time and learn more about the companies in the Philippines. Hope that I help you as well. Bye-bye. Thank you.